Tammy Rud.
Can you spell your last name?
R-U-D. McKenna is 17 and a half. Her disability is Q22 deletion syndrome. She has some medical needs. A lot of them are kind of borderline. We're watching them. We haven't had to do any interventions, but they're things that we are watching. She also has some cognitive delays as a result of that, but she is a very social and active girl. She loves to knit. She loves to camp. She loves to do Special Olympics. McKenna wasn't diagnosed with her disability until she was in preschool. We knew from the day she was born that something was off because she was blue and her APGAR scores were fairly low. And then as she went through her infant toddler years, her eyes didn't track together when they should have. She didn't start walking when she should have. There were lots of little things that, oh, she should be doing this by now, and she's not. So we talked to her doctor about it, and they would say, well, she's not quite where she should be, but let's just watch it for now. And then I think she was about 4. We took her doctor heard a heart murmur, so he referred her to a pediatric cardiologist, and we went, and he kept looking at her fingers and her thumbs and her ears, and I finally asked him what he was doing, and it turns out his wife is a pediatric geneticist who was studying the Q22 deletion, and that's how we, in a roundabout way, found out what it was that McKenna had. In a way, it was very eye-opening to find out what her diagnosis was, because then we could research it and we could kind of find out, okay, well, how many other kids have this and what is their experience? But on the other hand, it's something where a lot of different diagnoses and names have been given to the same set of characteristics. So in a way, it was still being at square one and not really knowing. And it's such a wide spectrum for what different kids have that have this, that we still didn't quite know what to expect for her. Right now it's very frustrating because one of her special health care needs is she has to avoid any hit to her head or neck or a whiplash effect to her neck, and she very much wants to drive because she is 17 and a half, so she wants to get her driver's license, and so we are working with the neurologist to find out if that's even physically possible with airbags in cars nowadays. So it's very frustrating meshing the physical with the, but I want to. The most difficult challenge with McKenna would be the one I just spoke about, with her wanting to drive or her wanting to do all of those kind of teenage milestones. And some of them she can do, and other ones, because of some of the physical limitations, we have to kind of put the brakes on and say, nope, sorry, this is not physically safe for you to do. And that's really hard because you don't want to squash her dreams. She has a sister who's in her 20s, and she has a stepbrother and stepsister that are 1 year older and 1 year younger than her. And so they're all very close in age. They're all going through a lot of the same similar things. And so in some ways that is a huge strength because they can go to one another and talk and bond. In other ways, it's really hard because when she sees her 3 siblings all getting driver's licenses and she is not, then that makes it that much harder for her. Well, McKenna came to me when she was in 6th grade and said that she wanted to be a part of Special Olympics. And I had the wrong thinking that Special Olympics was for kids with physical limitations, kids with wheelchairs and walkers, and it turns out no, that was completely not. It's for kids who have cognitive disabilities, and so we signed her up to be a part of that, and she has loved it. It's been a way for her to get some physical activity, to learn some new skills, and most importantly for her to be social, because she's a very social girl. My main expectation when I signed up to come to Yippee was to learn some information about McKenna moving into adulthood. I really did not know what to expect with her moving from high school into possibly post-secondary education, or just moving from being a child living at home to someday moving out into the community. It's been a wonderful experience coming to Yippee, meeting other families that are going through the same thing, that don't know any more than you know, or maybe know this part of it, and so they can tell you their experience and you can tell them your experiences. Having all of the different presenters come in with information about all the different agencies and how they work together and how you can access them for your child. McKenna loves coming to Yippee each weekend. She loves, even though she's one of the only few girls, she loves coming and being a part of it and meeting all the people and talking to the adults as much as talking to the other students. McKenna is at an age, being 17 and a half, where there's a lot of things coming up. There's applying for guardianship, working with the DVR and the ADRC, and all of the transitioning that's going on. And she has asked a lot of questions as a result of information that she's gotten, as well as she'll overhear me talking with other family members or friends about some of the things that need to be happening, and she'll ask questions. And she'll go to other people to get answers for those questions to make sure that we're really going to do what's in her best interest. She wants to be a part of the whole process. I think the whole Yippee experience has given McKenna and I both a lot of valuable information that we didn't have prior to coming to these 5 weekends. McKenna and I have developed a community action plan together. It's kind of in the very beginning stages right now. We are going to be checking with the Eau Claire School District to see if the staff development days for the district staff coincide with when the next Yippee, which is going to be in Eau Claire, is going to be happening. And then we're hoping to do a session for special education staff and encourage them to promote Yippee to their students so that more people can have this experience. I think that Yippee is a great place to get a lot of information, to get a lot of questions answered. Everyone's experience with their special needs child is so different. McKenna actually has a friend here at this Yippee who has the same diagnosis that she has, but he goes to a different school district, and so his experience and what he's going through and his family is going through is slightly different from hers, but the information that we are all getting is very helpful to all of us.